The wave of attacks in France is not only ramping up pressure on Francois Hollande's government over security, it's also putting interfaith unity in the spotlight. Speaking to Euronews, the state representative for France's Rhone-Alpes region has appealed for the country not to get pulled into the politics of the enemy, who he says wants to pull the country apart. I appeal once more for the spirit of harmony and brotherhood, because the enemies of the Republic, the enemies of our values, the enemies of our freedom, dream only of one thing, that is that France fragments, as hostility grows between groups, between communities, and is especially against what must also be the spirit of harmony, brotherhood and great determination in implementing the rule of law. The state is in danger? It's not the state that is in danger, because the strength of the state is the rule of law, the force of law. What is threatened is our living together in the Republic. We must be extremely careful and vigilant, and do everything possible to defend the Republic, preach cohesion, and especially avoid communitarianism, against all cultural entrenchment. The Republic and its values have unfortunately been threatened by attacks for too long now, he says. France is in a state of emergency. Will we move to a higher level? Is there one? And what will that mean for the places of worship? State of emergency laws specifically make provision to close places of worship if there are issues. In the previous emergency, that's what we did. Here in Lyon, I closed a so-called mosque in this context. I believe you remember that. It's especially important that we know who's preaching at the mosques. And it was my call to Muslim leaders to act with a sense of responsibility. I do trust them, but we need to know who holds the sermons, who fills the role of imam, what is happening. The Muslim community must help us to promote and defend Republican values. I extend my hand to them, and I trust them. The so-called Islamic State militant group has prioritized targeting France. It's been bombing ISIL's bases in Iraq and Syria as part of a US-led international coalition.